Hey you guys, so welcome back to part 2 of my Best of Beauty for 2017. If you guys weren't able to catch my part 1, I will go ahead and link it down below. Let's get diving into this second series. Eyeliner. When it comes to glitter, I did so much more looks and tested so much more out this year that had a lot to do with glitter. And I will say, when it comes to foolproof glitter, if I had to choose anything, hands down, it would have to be the Heavy Metal glitters by Urban Decay. These are ultimately my favorite ones, and I love these because you can make them super light and then you can make them very intense. Like today, I have on this very light baby pink one right on the inner corner. Very light, as you can see. It almost looks like it's just eyeshadow, but when you get a little bit closer, it has a little reflexive glitter in it. So these were my ultimate favorite for 2017. So the next product I wanted to mention, which is kind of a glitter slash eyeshadow in my opinion. These here are the Stila Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow. You guys can make this as light as you want. You can make it as dark as you want as far as like pigment goes. I also love it for inner corner. What I like to do is I like to add like a white shadow to my inner corner, and then I'll take a little bit of it right on the inner corner, and just it'll kind of add like this little sparkly feel to it. It's so beautiful. I wanted to mention a few liners, brands in particularly. The very first one has to be the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencils. I have quite a few of these, you guys. I love these pencils for so many things. Mostly I like it for my waterline or my lower lash line as a whole pencil to kind of use as a base. I don't think it works as well because it dries pretty quickly. So I don't recommend it for your top lid if you're going to use it as a base for an eyeshadow to darken it up. But for the waterline, it's a really good pencil because it stays on really, really long. Now, to create a winged liner, I have been loving this liquid liner. This here is the NYX That's the Point eyeliner in Hella Fine. But this one is super thin. Look at how thin this is. So tiny, so precise. I mean, it makes the perfect winged liner. If you want that like perfect flick, this here is going to be your baby. So then I'll go in with this one here, which is also the NYX Matte Liquid Liner. I heard a lot of people using it on Instagram. Like, I'll just look at their details and stuff, and on their details, I'll notice a lot of them use the NYX Liquid Liner. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it out and see what it's all about. It's good. Mascara is something I do not like to spend money on. I either try to save up my points from Sephora and I'll redeem it through that, or I'll look for like some sort of like a package where I can get a free mascara, or I've just bought enough Too Faced items this past year that I've gotten a Better Than Sex mascara for free almost every time. But I finally caved in and I bought myself a mascara because I fell in love with it. This here is the Superhero Mascara by IT Cosmetics. We received this actually in our Ipsy bag as like a promo. They were promoting it, so I believe a bunch of people got it. I fell in love with it instantly. I immediately bought it. I absolutely love it. The wand is exactly what I like. It's super fat and fluffy. The formula is not runny. It's the perfect consistency. The only thing I will say about this mascara is that you have to keep the lid tight because it will dry out pretty fast. It reminds me a lot of like the Voluminous by L'Oreal, except I prefer this formula a lot better. I have been living for this mascara. Now, the other one I wanted to mention, and I absolutely adore this mascara because I have very sparse lower lashes. I don't know what happened. I don't know who I got it from, but for some reason, I was not gifted with luscious lashes on my lower lash line. So I have to fake the funk a lot with my lower lash lines, but I refuse to wear like lower lash falsies. It's not my jam. I tried it once and I was like, yeah, no, this is not going to work. And this here is the Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara. This thing only retails for $10, you guys. The wand is so tiny, so cute, so little. Feels like it has those fibers that kind of run on your lower lash line, and it makes them look so much longer. And then you find lashes in there that you never realized you had. It's just an amazing mascara. If you guys have sparse lashes on your lower lash line, or some of your mascaras just like create like a hot mess down there, try this out. You guys will definitely love this mascara once you try it. It's really good. All right, you guys, let's dive into some highlighters. Let's talk about the very first one. When I bought this at a Sephora haul, you guys, I instantly fell in love with it. And this here is the NARS Coco Cabana Illuminator. It is a cream highlighter. Look at the pigment on this. It's just so beautiful, so intense. It makes all of the other cream highlighters just put to shame. Sometimes I don't even use it and I just look at it and I'm just like, you're just so beautiful. I don't even want to use you because I just absolutely love it. I love everything about it. I don't know. I'm so in love with it. It can do no wrong to me. That's the thing with this one. So the next highlighters I want to mention were new to me because I had actually never tried them. I was introduced to this brand by BoxyCharm, Ofra highlighters. When it comes to Ofra highlighters, those are the highlighters that you want when you are gonna take a bomb-ass picture. If you wanna get your highlight poppin', you definitely need to have an Ofra highlighter. I feel like they have the best formula when it comes to giving you that like glow to the gods kind of look. It's just incredible. Well, these are one of the highlighters that I feel like do not need any sort of assistance from anything. You don't have to have a liquid or cream highlighter to put on beforehand. If you guys want like a killer highlight, definitely invest in these. And they always have sales. Like I don't have a coupon code or anything, but you can definitely find them all over the place. They just always have sales on them and you can get them super discounted. This year was like definitely the year for highlighters from the drugstore. One of the first ones I want to dive into is the Wet n Wild highlighters. These here are just some of the highlighters that Wet n Wild came out with this past year. These highlighters were definitely those highlighters that you can really make really soft and really pretty, or you can intensify it and make it super poppin' and highlighted like crazy. While we're on the drugstore subject, let's also take a moment to thank Maybelline for gracing us with the Master Chrome highlight. I will say that this, of all of them, is my favorite highlighter this year. Amazing. I cannot get enough of it. When I was traveling around this past year, I took this highlighter with me everywhere. It's got the same glow factor like some of these other brands, and it really blends and meshes well into the skin. It doesn't leave your pores looking huge, and it really has that like kind of wet look to it. It's incredible. It's a great highlighter. So thank you, Maybelline. In my opinion, I didn't have a palette from the drugstore that really stood out to me. So I don't have anything from the drugstore, but I do have some really good palettes to talk about. I've had this palette for quite some time, and I didn't realize how much I love this palette until this last time that I made a trip. I was like, I take this palette with me every year. Every year. I take this palette with me on every trip I go with. I don't know why. It's just the one palette that I always dive to and I always bring. It comes with me everywhere. And this here is the Jouer Essential Matte and Shimmer Eyeshadow Palette. It's a great everyday to a transitional nighttime look. So I think that's why I love it. The size of the mirror is amazing. And I was really impressed with this palette. The color payoff on it is really good. It blends really well. It's really easy to work with. And it is the only eyeshadow palette from Jouer that I own. And it just really affirmed my love for Jouer. So I really like it. This here is the ColourPop I Think I Love You palette. I actually did a full-on review and a swatch on this palette. You guys, this is such a great palette. And let me just say that I love that ColourPop went from their pot shadows to a pressed shadow formula because I absolutely hated those shadows. Like, I hated them. I bought them, trying to use them, could not figure out how to use them. I still can't. Like, I still have some and I try to use them and I'm like, I give up. Like, I can't do it. They always come out patchy and horrible. And not to mention, you have to use your finger for some of them. And you guys know me, I have nails. So it's a total bitch when I have to use my nail to apply a shadow. I don't like that. When they came out with their pressed shadows, I was like, done. I'm going to dive onto that and I'm going to check it out and make sure that it's good. The metallics in this palette are incredible. If you are looking for really good affordable shadows and you don't want to break the bank, I definitely would dive into this. Not to mention, they just got into Sephora stores, which is very incredible. Like, I could not believe that. I was like, way to go, ColourPop. Totally deserve it. They are just breaking leaps and bounds here, you guys. The Balm shadows are actually the bomb. They are some of the first shadows I actually started to play around with when I started playing with makeup and doing like YouTube tutorials. So I feel like every time the Balm comes out with an eyeshadow palette, I have to pick it up. And this year, I fell in love with this palette. It looks like I don't use it, but I swear I do. Let's talk about the size of these shadows, you guys. Like, that's a lot of product in my opinion. When he came out with the Meet Matrimony, I wish he got more hype. I really do, because there's some of these palettes out here that came out this past year that were way overhyped and, in my opinion, not really worth it. Last palette I want to mention, and this here is the Jaclyn Hill palette with Morphe. As you guys can see, there are some shadows in here I hardly ever play around with, but there are some other shadows that are like perfect for me. And I will say that I really appreciate that Jaclyn Hill actually took the time to put into a palette that has colors for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, she adds colors for different eye colors. So she adds really good complementary colors for different eye colors, which I really, really like. Now, the only thing I wish Jaclyn Hill would do is I hope and I pray that she'll come out with a cool tone palette. That would just be, we would just be done. We would be done. Like, she could have my money in a heartbeat, because this year I pray that more companies will come out with cool tone palettes, you guys. I am so over warm tone shadows. I have enough warm tone shadows to last the rest of my life and then some. So when it comes to lip glosses, you guys know I'm a lip gloss queen. I love my glosses. I absolutely love glosses, but there are a few that stood out to me this year. The very first one that I absolutely fell in love with, which was my first NARS purchase from them, was the NARS Dolce Vita lip gloss. And I think I just bought it because I never owned anything lip-wise from NARS, so I really wanted to get it. I don't wear this a lot in the winter, obviously, because it's a very pinkish toned lip gloss. Very, very pigmented, not sticky at all. But I wear this more so in the summer, and it looks so beautiful just on top of a liner for the summer, like, you know, like a beach nighttime. It's so pretty. So let's talk about lip toppers, because lip toppers are my thing. You guys know how much I love lip toppers. So my very favorite one that so many of you guys asked me about is the ColourPop My Jam. You guys know that I wear this a lot, especially when I do my pictures. When I take pictures for Instagram, I wear this right in the center of my lips because it really adds a really high finish shine to my lip. So it makes my the center of my lips look very, very pouty. So I use this all the time and keep this in my back pocket when I'm taking pictures for Instagram. No joke. And it's amazing. There was one lip crayon, you guys, that I fell in love with, and I keep this in my purse with me everywhere I go. This here is called the Hourglass Girl lip crayon, and this is in the color Influencer. It is the best color for my lips. I wear this. I take this with me everywhere I go. So in case I don't like the lip color I'm wearing, I will literally take it off and I will apply this, and then I'll apply some sort of a lip topper on it, or I'll wear it by itself. And every time I wear this, I've even wore this to events, and I get asked all the time what I'm wearing on my lips. All the time. The next brand I wanted to mention for liquid lipsticks has to be Tarte's lip paints. When it comes to neutral colors, Tarte is the one brand I love to go to for their lip paints. As you guys can see, I'm a neutral fan for their lip paints. I have one that's a little bit brighter than this. I have a bright pink one of this one. I don't play around with it as much, but I feel like when it comes to really good like brown tone liquid lipsticks, they have a great formula. But my thing with these is that I feel like they never fully get dried. Like, they almost stay just slightly tacky, and I'm actually okay with that because I can actually play around with the formula and I can build on the formula. Once it dries, that's where it scares me, because if it dries, then if I go over it, I run the risk of it then getting patchy in some spots. But with this particular formula, I find that if I go over it and it still stays a little tacky, I like that, and I can build it throughout the day. So I really like these. These range about $24, I want to say. So you guys, that there is my best of beauty for 2017. I told you it was going to be long. There's going to be a lot to take in, but I'm sure a lot of you guys are already aware of a lot of these products, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe down below. I love you guys, and I cannot wait to start the new year off with you guys in 2018. Let me know some of your guys' New Year's resolutions. I want to know what you guys have planned for the next year. If you guys have any resolutions to do anything crazy. I know I always make a resolution in 2018, and then by like day 8, it's like completely gone. So I love you guys, and I will see you guys all later.